Morning, students. I hope you all are well, staying safe at home. Students, this is your English period. I'm your English teacher. Today we will study lesson number 9, The Story of Silk, from our English Literature course book. So everybody open it. Students, today I will tell you what is exactly silk. Silk in Hindi we call it resham, right? Silk, they are very thin but long threads, shiny and strong threads. They are thin in size but they are strong, shiny and very beautiful threads. They are known as silk. You all must have seen your mother's sari, Banarsi silk, Kanjivaram silk, they all are forms of silk saris. Now, it is said in the story, it is said that silk is found in China. It is made over there. So, it is the story of a queen who found a cocoon in a hot water cup and through which she formed the silk thread from which we got our silk, beautiful saris, beautiful clothes made by silk. So let's read the chapter. Students, you can see that this is a silk sari. Okay, this is a silk clothes and they are so beautiful. It is so beautiful and it has a shiny glittering, see, these are glittering, these are shining clothes. These are silk threads. See, they are very thin but they are very effective. They are very strong. See, they are very strong, they are shiny and very beautifully woven cloth, that is silk. Right, students? As I have shown you the silk sari, now we will move forward to our chapter, that is lesson number 9, The Story of Silk. Everyone open it out. As you all know that today we will study lesson number 9, The Story of Silk, from our English literature book. So everybody open page number 87. Write down classwork. Put the date. That is 4 November 2020. Underline it. Okay. Firstly, I will read the chapter. Then I will explain it to you. Did you know that silk was discovered in China? What is silk? Silk means a cloth that is a soft, shining cloth, right? That is produced by an insect, right? A long time ago, in a tiny village in China, there lived a poor girl belonging to a weaver's family. One day, the emperor was passing through the village and saw her working in the fields. He noticed her pretty face, her proud bearing, and her rough, worn hands, which meant she worked very hard through the year. He immediately fell in love with her, and now he was much older, decided to marry her. That you all know that silk was found in China, right? And it is a story of an emperor, means it is a story of a king who fell in love with a simple lady. She was not a queen of any country. She fell in love with a farm side girl. Okay, and uh, then he sees his bright face and his working worn hands, because she used to work daily. But the king was much older than her. Then also he decided to marry her. The girl married the ruler of the land and went to live in his palace as his beloved queen. But she was unhappy. She had grown up in the wide open space of the countryside, and now she was confined to a palace, magnificent though it was. She used to working from dawn to night without a moment's rest, but now she had many servants to take care of her needs, and did not know how to fill her time. Now, that simple girl married the ruler, means married the king, right? And then went to his palace, and she started living as his beloved queen, means the most lovable wife of of the emperor. Then, but she was very unhappy. Why? Because she had a tendency. She used to live in wide open space, in a garden area, means in villages, where there were gardens, sea, village, farm. But in a palace it won't be available, na. So that's why he was sad. And the palace was very beautiful, but he does not have that habit. Earlier she was a working girl, so she used to be happy in that place only. But now she wasn't happy. And she used to work from daily, from the morning to the evening. She does not have any free time. Now she is the queen and she has lots of time. She can't do anything now. In the village, she had been surrounded by family and friends who exchanged news and gossip as they worked. But in the palace, it was quiet and no one spoke out of turn. The emperor noticed his new wife was sad and tried his best to make her happy. He bought her grand clothes, jewels, and artifacts, threw elaborate parties, hired the best musician of the land to amuse her. Yet she was sad. When in the evening time in her village, the queen used to sit with her family, friends, and relatives, and they used to talk about the work which they had done, and they used to do gossip, means many different talks they used to do. But in the palace there was nobody who will talk to the queen. Only when it is necessary, then only they used to talk to their queen. And the sadness was found by the emperor, and he thought how to make her wife happy. So he brought her grand clothes, jewels, artifacts, and threw many parties. Hired the best musician of the land to make her happy. Amuse means to make her happy, but still she was sad. One afternoon, the empress sat under a mulberry bush in her garden, lost in her thoughts about her village. She slowly sipped hot water from a cup. One afternoon, the empress was sitting under a tree. The name of the tree was mulberry bush, right? Bush means small and thick branches of a tree, right? And she was lost in her village thought. And then she was drinking hot water. One sip she took, and from a hot water cup. Now move to page number 88. Staring up at the blue sky. The girl remembered the birds that flew over her village. Then, sighing softly to herself, she picked up her cup to take another sip. But what was this? A cocoon from the mulberry bush had dropped into the hot water. Her first thought was to throw away the water and the cocoon, but then she took a closer look and she saw some threads peeping out from the cocoon. Now, then she was watching, it was a tree, mulberry was a tree, so she was watching up in the tree, and the birds were flying, birds were chirping over there. And then she remember how the birds used to flew over their village. But then she took another sip of hot water, right? And that time she saw that there is something in the cup. A cocoon has fallen in the cup, right? In a hot water cup. Firstly, she thought that she will throw it out. But then secondly, she saw that in the cocoon, they were very simple and very shiny threads were coming out from the cocoon. Where had they come from? She pulled the threads. They were thin, strong, and shiny. Now the queen thought where these threads come from, because they were thin, shiny, and strong. She kept pulling, and a long line of thread came out. She kept taking out the thread from the cocoon, and a long thread came out from the cocoon. Now the empress had a great idea. She would take the thread from many cocoons and weave soft, strong cloth from it. Now the empress had a great idea that she will make a cloth from these thread. Why she had this idea? She was from a weaver's family, so she had a very keen way to make the clothes. She called her servants and everyone got to work. They took cocoons out of the mulberry tree, dropped them in hot water and removed the thread. They gathered a fair amount of yarn. Then the queen ordered a special weaving machine and wove the first piece of cloth using this new thread. This was how silk, the best and brightest form of cloth, was weaved. So she took her servants and everyone get back to work. And the servants took out the cocoons from the mulberry tree and dropped and put them in a hot water, and then they used to take out the thread from the cocoon, and it was formed in a fair amount of yarn. Then the queen started weaving. No, the queen ordered a weaving machine, and she used to weave the first piece of cloth using this new thread, and the cloth was called silk. It was the best and the brightest cloth that she weaved. Okay, students, from this stanza we will study from tomorrow, right? Today I have explained you half of the chapter. Tomorrow I will explain you the other part of the chapter. So that's all for today, students. Stay safe, stay at home, don't go out. Have a good day, students. Thank you.